people don't really appreciate sometimes like a certain gift or a talent, and it's not that it's not wrong or nothing like that. Everybody, perception is reality, but it's like we have to. It doesn't matter. You still got to make that thing pop out, right? So, I had to figure out what I was gonna do transitioning with my crump because we were homeless for. I mean, we had some moments where we were traveling back and forth here and there as a family homeless. So it didn't matter where we were at. I was still using my crump. I can still do that on the spot. You know what I'm saying? If I really needed to just get a video out there, just lab up or whatever it was by myself. You know, but it wasn't. I wasn't able to, cause you get burnout. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know what that even was back then. I'm like, I don't even know what this even was. People are asking me about this. I'm young. I'm not even 20 yet, and I'm getting 20 questions here and there. Like, what is crump? How do I get that good? Or how do I do this and do that? And I'm like, it's a personal relationship. That's all I know.
Yo, what up? It's your man, Mr. Dean, a.k.a. Cross, and you're listening to the Man Up Club Presents on Holy Culture Radio, where we give a voice to young black males. Man Up Club is a mentor leadership organization for young black males and boys of color between the ages of 13 and 24. We mentor in life skills, social skills, academic discipline, and civic responsibility, with three main goals within our organization, which is to get young men to graduate from high school, keep them out of the prison pipeline, and get them to go on to college or have a trade after high school. We're located in the Twin Cities of Minnesota with a lot of different programs: music production program, culinary arts, fitness program, construction program. I have a young man here that I'm going to be talking to today, Mr. Devance, a.k.a. Styles. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's good.
Man, you doing a lot, you know what I'm saying? You're an entrepreneur. I would like to describe you as an entrepreneur. You got on your hoodie, customized.
Got the Universal Barbers to represent,
You feel me? Then
Shots
you got the hat.
For everybody out there in need, man. We gonna get this together through the barber,
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit, man. Let's just kind of jump into, who you are as a person, man, how you grew up, where you grew up, you feel me? What was life like for you as a kid?
To be honest, like the first thought that comes to my head is like my family, like coming from Minneapolis, Minnesota, born and raised. But like my family, like, is the first thing that comes to my head, just being that, we really went through so much stuff together, like as a fun experience, traveling through Minneapolis, like, house to house, location to location, just getting to really, go through those learning curves together and stuff like that. But, playing games, having video games, not having too much, you know what I'm saying, because we were struggling, but it was like everything seemed okay because my parents was always involved and they were there, you know what I'm saying. So, me being the oldest of 6 siblings was a fun but hard task because you're the oldest, so it's like your responsibilities looked at you. But for the most part though, like growing up as a kid, like it was very exciting for me just because I was always energetic. I always liked to dance. I always liked to be involved with any kind of sports or games, basketball and stuff like that. Even though I was short, you know what I'm saying, I still like to hoop and I could still play good. So I would still do my thing with that. And I was just always good at a lot of things. I felt like I always tried to be consistent as a kid, But yeah, we all got our scraped knees though. I feel like there was a lot of times where I learned through not just my experiences, but just seeing a lot of like people either go through a gain or a loss, and between that, I would look at what were people looking at that was needed, and then what what they wanted. But I really focused at the end on what mattered. So I always was patient as a kid. Like I wouldn't really like intervene in a lot of conversations when it comes to arguments. You might see me just go straight to class sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be too involved. I had a good mix of friends. You know what I'm saying? I still talk to my teachers. You know what I'm saying? From elementary, all that good stuff is still there. As a kid, bro, I just loved, bro. I loved enjoying outdoors, anything like that, bro. I was always just active. It didn't matter what it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you grew up with your mom and your dad in the house?
Yeah, I grew up with my mom and my dad. You know, of course they story too. My mom and dad, born and raised here as well. They got six kids. I'm the oldest. I was
Yep.
speaking earlier.
Yep.
They they got family out different states. Obviously, you know how it's go. We all spread out everywhere, but majority of our family that I know, like my Amber's family side, my mom's side, my dad's side, they're here. Like my grandpa and them. You know what I'm saying? We right now we have like a big collaboration with our family going on right now, actually, which is crazy. My dad does construction. My mom does like a gift and candle shop type of thing, but she does tech as well.
Nice.
My dad does like also does like he does everything with real estate pretty much. But my mom, my sister, she does like artistry. So like she does like, you'll see some of the billboards or like Target like mugs and candles and stuff like that. So he does her thing too. KP Inspires. And then we got my brother. He's like a producer. You know what I'm saying? We all came. The thing is though, before I'm saying all this, it took like like a struggle for I guess a black man or as a young man. Like consistency is like the hardest thing to know about first. And as you get older, it's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's like when we were going through our trials and going through our movements, we were still creative and active. So we're like, okay, you hearing the music, you hearing the beat, you know what I'm saying? Or you good, you moving your hand with the clip, or you dancing, or you good with the art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we like noticing those things and we started bringing those elements out more. And I that key pivotal thing for my family, I think, is like what I'm looking at to bring out like more into more families. So
Yeah, yeah. So you like you just picking up on like all the gifts and talents,
yeah,
within the family and trying to and just simply just build. You build when you see it, you build on it, you cultivate it. You know what I'm saying? Now years later, you got people that's operating in their gifts, owning businesses, entrepreneurship. Such as yourself and your sister and the whole nine. Like, I think that's real dope as far as like the nucleus of a family growing up, together and just being able to see, number one, recognize the gift, and then to be able to nurture it. You'd be surprised at how many families, have kids who have so much talent and are gifted, but never cultivate those gifts, never encourage,
yeah,
those gifts. A lot of those talents and gifts, sadly enough, go to waste.
man.
With a lot of kids, man, especially in the urban and inner city communities, man, because a lot of times parents and families don't even have enough money or resources to really support those gifts, to put a kid in a certain kind of school where they can develop the gift or whatever.
No, for real. And they say some of the best, gifts goes to the graveyard for real. And to go to like even like the barbering field, like I was talking about earlier, like this, like reaching out to people, getting to them people in need. It's so detrimental, like seeing people be them, you know what I'm saying, to have that piece of well being, seeing that, after cut feeling, you know what I'm saying? But then, to take it to that next level beyond the chair, which is the event I'll be having, you know what I'm saying? I'll be having that on the 26th of next month. But we'll be getting free haircut and discounted haircut services. But that's what I'm aiming for, is to really get to those conversations, because the people who aren't able to open up and talk, in open fields or even in private, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not feeling themselves, is causing such a disruption, you know what I'm saying? So with this movement I'm trying to do with this Universal Barbers, or what we're doing with this Universal Barbers movement, is to bring new conversations, new bridges, spark new, new narratives, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot is going on right now with families, and I feel like, if we can start connecting, whether it's a haircut or, a piece of a gift, like we can share what gift you have, what gift I have, and we can bring it to somewhere where we are creators to what our dreams are showing us. You know what I'm saying? Like let's go ahead and make this come true. You know what I'm saying? We can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dope concept, man, and I want to eventually get into that and for the people to learn more about Universal Barbers, because I think what you're doing, I think, is a really dope concept or what have you, that people definitely need to know about. And then I also want to get you connected to the Man Up Club and some of the things that we're doing there, and even to the point where we in the start building some type of partnership. So you talked about growing up, man, and coming from a two-parent home or what have you. Did you know that 80% of young black males grow up without a father in the home?
You know what? It's I I I didn't believe it when I did see that. So the fact I'm hearing it again is like
Yeah,
it's not funny though, but it's like wow, like we're at that point where it's
yeah,
and it's going up.
yeah. It's real.
Even the marriages are, I've seen a lot of it's going up. Like a lot of things are changing.
Yeah, you talked about your father and him owning a construction company. So me and my wife, we also own a commercial construction firm.
Nice.
So we own several different businesses. God has really blessed us to, be able to do some things for our family and for our community. Um, but tell me a little bit about what your dad does in regards to construction.
He does like contracting. I mean, this man, since he been young, he can build a house up from the ground up if he
Okay.
need. So I was
I
even
see
thinking
the pride
like,
on your face.
yeah, every time man, I really take pride in my dad. Not just the word love, but just really like if there's a word even beyond that, enlightened. When I see my dad, I feel enlightened. Like he, he took a story that was supposed to be against him and not to prove nobody wrong, but just to be there and to be present, like we were saying, 80%, that 80%, it cuts in half almost just from one father just being present. And so I felt like, him just being like that, I always tell him, like, man, you remind me of somebody from the Bible or like somebody, just some hero or somebody incredible, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because, we've had our turn, our tumbles and stuff like that, but like, we're like that, we're right back. Hey, son, dad, I love you. Ooh.
Yeah.
My mom too, like, we all, like, how it goes sometimes, but to have both of them present through them being saw as you're gonna fail or you should get this abortion, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Which was me. You supposed to get this abortion or this and this and that, you know what I'm saying? Still come and overcome and still talk about the story and have all your kids here still. It's just a lot. Like I just see them, I see them as heroes for real.
I think that's dope, man. It's so good to hear you say that and to talk to a young man who actually comes from a two-parent home. But not just a two-parent home, because all two-parent homes are not stable. You feel me? There's a lot of two-parent homes where there's a lot of turmoil and a lot of issues and a lot of violence and, a lot of things that happen in single-parent homes happen in two-parent homes. But it's just awesome, bro, to hear you, especially the admiration, that you have for your father, and then furthermore, for you to even go on and to describe them as heroes, man, is such a profound thing in modern day culture. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you on being able to recognize that in them, but at the same time for them to be able to nurture you and develop you and grow you to the point, where you become a fine young man that can recognize that and be able to honor them.
And that's true. I'm sorry to cut your wisdom,
Go ahead.
but that's so true. Just because you have a two-parent home doesn't mean that it's always going to be, that,
Yeah.
and it's great to see that, there are parents who are putting in that work.
Yeah.
And I've seen things, like, parents go through trials and tribulations, right?
Of course.
There's success. So all the parents out there doing their thing, man, like, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and it's really about overcoming the odds and overcoming the struggles, and then being there for each other despite what you might be going through. It's your man, Mr. Dean. You're looking into the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio. It's your man, Mr. Dean, aka Cross, and I'm here with my man Devance, aka Styles. Why they call you Styles, bro?
Man, Styles the VIP, they call me that because I really like to keep this style real player, but make sure you feeling real VIP when you come get the haircut, or I'm going to pop up real VIP and make sure that the scene is looking right,
Okay, so you dance. You're a dancer.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So, just real quick on the VIP thing too, though. But realistically, VIP stands for very important people.
Nice.
Real quick, so I just want to make that be known. But my dancing, man, like, to be truthful, that's what really got me to really get into that expressive side, because I was able to really just let loose, you know what I'm saying? And like it was a freestyle. I learned how to crump. So
Okay.
that's the form of dance that I learned. First I was doing like pop locking and all that stuff, like the the original greats and stuff, you know
For
what I'm
sure,
saying?
for sure.
But then I started crumping. But the thing was I started getting known for it, you know what I'm saying? So like not only was I out there dancing in the community and stuff like that, doing my poetry and motion, but I was filming, I was recording. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really had no intent. I just wanted to just kind of record and see myself at first. But then I started getting into editing a little bit. And then
Okay.
YouTube, YouTube kind of comboed up. I'm like, shoot, upload it. Then it started going viral, and then, videos start going viral. I'm like, okay, bet I'm on to something. Like, but I don't know what this is all is. I'm just having fun dancing, crumping.
Gotcha.
But I started getting into more like somebody hit me up on YouTube. That was like, we want you to do the Minnesota versus crump versus pop locking and stuff like that. So I called some of the guys like, let's roll deep, let's go over there. But the word crump really began for me was literally at school. I wasn't supposed to really expose my talent like that. I kind of wanted to keep it conserved. It's like my poetry. You know what I'm saying? But it was a performance we had, and I didn't like to really be in front of a lot of people like that. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of more shy. You know what I'm saying? And the girls be like, "You cute, you little," but I'm little. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm fitting in or not. But I had a performance coming up, and it was crazy because I got partnered with this woman, not woman, with this girl, and we had the team had like a routine dance. You know what I'm saying, with different partners, and I was partnered up with her, and the time the performance came for us to perform, and she had a boyfriend the whole time. I didn't even know. He got jealous. He like, no, you can't dance that. You can't dance with him. So I'm like, dang, who I'm gonna dance with, bro? This is crazy, bro. Yeah. Like I ain't gonna try to fight over his, So performance came. They was like, all right, well during this part, just freestyle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what? Like that's crazy. You want me to freestyle by myself and y'all got partners? I said, you know what? Forget it. You know what I'm saying? I always just like, I don't really mind like being different. You know what I'm saying?
Go for it.
Facts. Yeah, I always like that feeling sometimes anyway, because I was always short. So people be like, who's that short dude? And it'd be like 6 foot dudes right there. So I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be confident though, Right. So, but no, time performance come, and that part came up, and I just started freestyling. The whole school was like, this dude can dance. He's better than what's his name. He's better than what's his name. I'm like, who's what? Who's who? Right?
Yeah.
Came a little thing. It became so big. It was crazy. I didn't know how known dude was for dancing too though, and I didn't know how serious it was. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's real serious. Like dude come up to me after the performance, like maybe like an hour later. I just meet him. Like you think you better than me? You know what I'm saying? We off the bat, opposite, rivals at the bat. So, that sparked up me being known more too though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he was more known than I was. I wasn't really trying to like, but it's to the point where we'll get by each other and be 50 people crowding around. Like, they finna battle. You know what I'm saying?
We got you.
We got some battles online too. I think he ended up spamming one of the videos out of the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it. But there is another one up there too as well. But that ended up growing though and becoming a movement to, I don't know how many crumpers it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
There was an event that got created up here called the Uprising. It started really from a family I created called the Style Kings, and it evolved. If you look up this event called Uprising, you'll see a crump event. It's really big up here. It's like my boy said, it's the second largest crump event in America now. I stepped
really?
out for a second, and my boys and them took, they just took it and did their thing and evolved it the way they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Which was super lit. You know what I'm saying? To see everybody just like keep things pushing into another way. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, the crump was so personal that I started realizing like this can be something that can reach people. So like I started having like one-on-ones, you know what I'm saying? I have like dance one-on-ones and stuff like that. But it wasn't for money at first, you know what I'm saying? So somebody was like, why don't you start using it for something? And I'm like, I don't know what to do with it, Then Barbers kind of came in and helped me out with, okay, you have something to offer. You know what I'm saying? You got a skill set. So I'll go crump on Broadway in the hood, at shelters, at what's that the event on Broadway? I forgot what it's called. By like Juxton. I was just down just down the strip.
Yeah.
Man, I did so many crump events or popped up so many different places to give people like just that feeling like that's not just like, I can dance good, but really like you can express yourself. Like it's so hard to find outlets out here that don't seem like it's like it's not precious or good or appreciated. Like people don't look at certain things. Like you an artist now, oh you artist, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. But you gotta be most it gotta be something that everybody is trendy with now, you know.
Sure.
But it is I love like the people who know how to bring out that other art or that other form out and be them, you know what I'm saying? Like allow yourself to really get up in that bag, you know?
No, that's dope, man. I couldn't even imagine you being a crumper just by looking at you. So I'm interested. I'm so interested to see. Yeah,
You gotta see me, man.
Oh man, I know I do.
And it's starting back. It's getting live up in here right now too. It's getting back live too.
Oh, we gonna have to bring that to the Man Up Club.
Yeah,
there,
representing Minnesota.
We getting ready to do an open house, so I might have you and your team come through, man.
All right, bet.
Like for real.
Straight up, we'll come through for real.
That's real. So
y'all gotta be ready to get live though. I might get you in there too. I don't know.
Yeah, that'll make that day. That'll be something to go viral. Yeah, Mr. Dean up in that trumpet like that.
Straight up.
So that was an opportunity for you to express yourself, to get you open. You know what I'm saying? Get you in front of people, get you exposed.
Yeah.
And so how did you transition from that into the Universal Barbers? And tell us about Universal Barbers.
So, like my crump, I love crump, right? It's just like I was saying earlier, people don't really appreciate sometimes like a certain gift or a talent, and it's not that it's not wrong or nothing like that. Everybody, perception is reality, but it's like we have to. It doesn't matter. You still got to make that thing pop out, right? Yeah. So, I had to figure out what I was gonna do transitioning with my crump because we were homeless for. We had some moments we were traveling back and forth here and there as a family homeless, So it didn't matter where we were at. I was still using my crump. I can still do that on the spot. You know what I'm saying? If I really needed to just, get a video out there, or just lab up or whatever it was by myself, you know? But I wasn't able to, because you get burnout. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know what that even was back then. I'm like, I don't even know what this even was. People are asking me about this. I'm young. I'm not even 20 yet, and I'm getting 20 questions here and there, like, what is crump? How do I get that good? Or how do I do this and do that? And I'm like, it's a personal relationship. That's all I know, for the most part. But it made me want to really look into what I was expressing and what I was trying to get out there as a dancer. So I started opening up to other things and seeing what else I can utilize with this skill that I learned from crump. You know what I'm saying? Because every art is somewhat related. It's just expressed different. So I ended up I took the barber school. My way I started barber school is the crump and barber school like merged like in a weird way, but it's the way I started barber school too, kind of in a weird way because I was crumping, and my name was Hostile as a crumper.
Okay,
but it went down to Styles because I'm Big Styles pretty much. I had like a little homies like, under me as a family, as a crumper family, you know what I'm saying? So I have like big, Hostile and then these different names like little Blaze Style and etc. right? But then like, it was a real family thing. So it was serious. It was super serious as a crump dance family because we come from the streets. Crump is like a street dance, you know what I'm saying? So I took that with a serious thing like as a family, and it really was. I'm happy I did because I started noticing things like, somebody's struggling for real. Like one of the kids is struggling for real at the house, and he's asking me like, "You ain't there for," or telling me, "You ain't there for me." This and that. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to be there for me. Like I'm here though. I can be present. We can dance. I don't got the right, focus on that right now. Like I'm growing up in the same community you is, So I'm trying to figure it out. We can try to figure it out, but if you blaming me for something, I can't really figure it out, So my crump just kind of I started slowing down for a second, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm like, is this what I'm trying to express to people, or is this what people want to see from me? You know what I'm saying? Because I can do a tight move, you know what I'm saying? I can do a tight move, and they can whoa, but is it really? Am I feeling good? You know what I'm saying? It is sincere with any art. You just can't. You'll burn out, and so I just took the time for that. But yeah, now that I'm back. Now I've been back, it's been like We got trips planning out of town, all kind of stuff. But yeah,
So you went to barber school and got licensed and became a licensed barber.
yeah, that was a big struggle because barber school is like 8:30 to 5 o'clock Tuesday through Saturday. I want to say,
Yeah,
and
commitment.
yeah, being homeless. Like I'm gonna be honest, like or straightforward. I was working for Target Field. I was bartending at the time, and I had just got let loose from that job. The lady was racist, bro. Like I was getting tip money. You know what I'm saying? I'm killing it though. I'm having a ball, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting tip money. They get buying drinks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how, I still don't understand how I was 18 selling, bartending drinks, But I'm over here killing it though. I'm enjoying it. They like, oh, he's so little. Here, give him a little tip. But some of them was racist though. I'm not even catching on until later. Like, oh,
Yeah.
what's going on? But I realized like the job field wasn't for me after I got let go from there because I'm like, I can't win for losing. I'm doing good. I did great at the job. I did great. And then I remember I was in the basement. We was living at my great grandma's house. Well, it's my auntie house now, but we was living there and pretty much like it wasn't the best living condition, but we always trying to figure out how to survive.
Sure.
That. And I seen a commercial on TV about a barber school, starting like for a student, and it cost $600. I had $800 left, or $1,200 left. Put $400 towards storage, and then the rest of it towards barber school, and that's when it started. And I, got my kit, and then start pushing from there. But yeah, like it was a journey going into it though because I didn't have no money. I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the transition, going to school was like a pop in, and then going with no money was like, what I'm gonna do next. So yeah, that's great.
Kudos to you, man, for making that transition and sticking it out. I mean, a lot of people start things and don't have the resources, but somehow God provides, man, and just for you to be able to go through, get your license, and to be able to do what you're doing now, that's excellent. It's your man, Mr. Dean. You're listening to Holy Culture Radio. Yo, we back. It's your man, Mr. Dean. You're listening to the Man Up Club Presents. So let's jump into this Universal Barber. Man, what is Universal Barber?
So Universal Barbers is a collective of barbers who see a need for well-being in the communities and to start those new conversations that we need to have.
Okay. Because here's the thing, when a barber's like, first of all, in barbershops historically has been known for having the most interesting, stimulating, provocative, provoking conversations. Like, that's where your most authentic conversations happen, like in the barbershop. So tell me, take it a little deeper and tell me a little bit more about that, like your concept. Like, what's the concept behind it?
So pretty much, like, I don't know if y'all can see this right here too much good enough, but my logo, I'll pull this up actually. My logo is pretty much like right here. This stands for Sankofa pretty much.
Okay.
And it's like generational knowledge and learning.
Okay.
And unity. It's a Dinkra symbol, which is which is a universal symbol that originated in Africa. And then when I say universal, I mean universal, like through. And then we have the Dinkranim, which is from same thing as a Dinkra symbol as well. It's universal symbol. A lot of these, these symbols that I'm showing right now, like right here, were stolen from us historically and then changed or altered. For example, like the Dinkranim, which was 1962, they took a ring from around it and made it a target symbol.
Oh,
but
wow.
There's a reason for that. Certain signs and symbols have certain energy and frequency. So this pretty much like, they colored it red for a sexual energy, and then they took the ring. They did the rings because it stands for a chief. It stands for a chief symbol. It's like a masculine chief. They mixed it. So they mixed the sexual female energy with the masculine energy, and then that's why you might hear women love Target, and stuff like that and everything like that. Like there's certain energy behind it. I'm not saying every woman, you know what I'm saying?
I get it. That's interesting. Thanks for educating us.
Yeah, I was looking into their, they got like, their previous records on how they was working on therapy. The same way they did for like Instagram. They always target the women though. You know, whether it was through Instagram, scrolling through it with their nails and stuff like that. All that stuff is a repeated system. But yeah, no. So you know, Universal Barbers pretty much like is again like to take care of the communities and start those conversations. You know, we're offering free discounted haircuts to those in need. We are starting in the Ramsey County and Hennepin County areas. We're partnering with schools. We're talking to firefighters. We're talking to shelters. I mean, people from the community that you know just are in need. The same way I kind of started myself as style the VIP barber, and just really going out there and just wanting to make people feel, you know, authentic. You know, they authentic self. You know,
Yeah.
their well being. They're always surround self when they get out that chair. They pop out. You know, and they first hit that sun. You know, everybody turn light skin, hate the sun, and they get a fresh cut. But you know, I really wanted to bring that narrative to a movement. You know what I'm saying? So seeing you know new barbers saying I don't know where to go, and then seeing barbers say you know that's set in stone because I talk to barbers who are almost 90. You know what I'm saying? And I be asking certain conversations or certain questions. I mean, like, you know, like for school, for example, I was asking like, you know, do you feel like you know, what was you asking? Why'd you learn this in school? You know what I'm saying? And they'll say yeah, and I'm thinking about it like, at my age or my daughter, she's asking the same question, like, why are we learning these things? And so, as I'm, you know, doing Universal Barbers, I'm like, in my head, it crossed me like, you know, we need other ways to get out here and do more skills and more trades, but not just the way we doing it. Like, it's hard to just be like, okay, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this makes sense if it's something I can get in front of and see. You know what I'm saying? So, as a barber, my initial goal is to really open up that concept for Universal Barbers to really spread to more spaces, more states, more just of everything that we can possibly get going to get us in a movement that we need to get in because it's serious right now. It's so serious right now.
So like when you so you're not just cutting hair just to be cutting hair. You're talking about having a movement behind the customers
Exactly.
of the hair that you're cutting.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about these conversations. So can you give me an idea like the conversations that you're referring to? Some of these robust conversations.
So like you know, I'm coming up to like you know, so because barbers are pillars of the community, right?
Right.
We're mentors, therapists, all that stuff, right? And as I was bringing it to people's attention at first, it was something that already got done already. You know what I'm saying? Like people are cutting out in the community and stuff like that, right? But barbers aren't being supported consistently as well, and it's causing a fluctuation between like a burnout and being able to take care of somebody at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
I was speaking to one of the barbers yesterday. You know, he's 42 years old, and he was just telling, you know, he's been running his barbershop for a while now, and he was just saying like, you know, the burnout he's having, like, you know, trying to take care of people even if it's free, and then, you know, not being there to get support, you know, as a therapist or whatever, you know, field you see that barber as, a relationship that you had with that barber. So, like right now, you know, I'm talking to majority of the barbers. Right now, it's like 41 barbers right now total.
That's a lot.
Between, yeah, for real. And I really had to sit back for real because I'm a joyful person, like to, you know, dance, you know, having fun, music, all that stuff. But when it come down to like, you know, people wanting to evolve themselves or like, you know, because I can't be like, you need to be this way, you need to cut that way. Like, I can't necessarily always do that, you know? And I want to be able to bring that out though. You know what I'm saying? And they don't necessarily have to be said. It be some of an action. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love to just be able to show up and they be like, okay, this man has resources for this, and that, but it also, you know, provides these things outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Universal Barbers is like. Okay, you need kits. You need you know, I got some stuff up in here real quick. Matter of fact, just to show like I be giving out because I be doing house calls and stuff.
Okay.
And you know, some people do pay a lot of money.
Talking about when you cut hair, you do
Yeah,
house calls.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I be pulling up, man. I really pull up for real, and I try to come exclusive. I
Yeah.
was just cut at the hospital 2 weeks ago, and it was funny because I was just manifesting it again. 'Cause I cut at the HCMC,
Yeah.
and I was just like, man, like
HCMC is a hospital for those of y'all around the country.
yeah, yeah, downtown. So I'm like, man, like this was cool experience, and there was 2 gunshot wounds I actually did at both hospitals. It was 2 separate hospitals, but like I was like, this experience is something serious because people be needing, you know, haircuts. They be in there for like a year or two. I'm not a year, but a month. You know,
Yeah.
2 months. I'm like, they losing their mind. So
Yeah.
but yeah, this like I create like some skincare like right here.
Yeah, that's dope. I like the logo.
You know what I'm saying? These all done in my 1-bedroom apartment at first, and I didn't take it serious. I just took it as a creative thing at first. But I'm like, okay, we don't got men's care out here like that. You know, Universal Barbers can provide that. You know what I'm saying? We can provide skincare, we can provide hair care, we can provide food, kits, new clippers, education. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I ended up doing, and that's how I ended up making the site that I do have now. I ain't introduce the site to you.
Go ahead
yet.
and introduce the site.
It's called haircutsforacause.com.
Haircuts for a cause.
Haircutsforacause.com. You can go on there and apply. It's opening up next week. You'll be able to apply for either free or discounted haircuts. We either provide a barber for you, or you can select any barber you want. We'll pay that haircut for you, or we'll pay discounted for you. So we're really trying to move in that. We have events on there. We have a program on there, our barber therapy program. Our program promotes academic, like, you know, aspiration. So like say like you know, your kid gets like a B honor roll, they get a free haircut, they get an A honor roll, they get 2 free haircuts.
Nice.
And then we get like a little academic award, you know what I'm saying? Something slight.
I think that's dope.
Thanks, man. And then of course like we try to get some backpack brushes in between if we can, depending on the support we're getting. You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing that serious. Like y'all need to invest this way because this is serious. But we got a youth program that's part of the barber therapy as well, where we do like we'll have like you come through or something like that and come speak about education or somewhere to go or something we can talk about. And this is everywhere. There's a barbershop event that we have. It can be right out here if we have people pull up, because you can do haircut anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can be on a mountain. I'm gonna do a video like that for some content.
Yeah,
but
I like it. I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that concept, man. Especially when you guys are in incentivizing the culture, you know, to make good grades and what have you. I can see that even expanding just because they make right and good decisions. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like a brilliant concept. How long have you been doing it?
This has been, you mean like cutting hair or like just Universal Barbers?
Both.
I started like the original greats. My dad used to cut hair too.
Okay.
He'd be cutting people in the hood here and there. I don't really remember every vivid memory, but I remember like, I do remember having people coming in and he's cutting up.
Yeah.
You know, his brother, and then, yeah, like I just remember like a lot of vivid memories. But yeah, I'll go back to your question. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to know when you started cutting hair and then when you started Universal
Yes.
Universal Barbers.
So I say it was like, it's 2025 right now. It's like 2006. I say 2016 when I really started like cutting. Yeah, like when I started cutting, because I ended up going to my apartment the next year. So I really like had to like self build. I was at the shop that I was at before for a year, but it wasn't really. It was just I had to focus in. I was really learning. What I was learning from the shop is showing up. You know what I'm saying? Showing up, writing down my books and stuff like that. But it changed up when I started doing book season or like online apps.
Yeah, that's what's up. It's your man, Mr. Dean. You're listening to the Man Up Club presents on Holy Culture Radio. Hey, listen, if you want to tap in with us, be sure to go to themanupclub.org. Once again, our website is themanupclub.org, or tap in with us on our IG at themanupclub.mn. The Man Up Club only runs off of donations from you around the country, so feel free to support our organization if you like the content, things that we're talking about, and the mission. What is our mission? Our mission is to develop young boys into holistic young men of character. Tap in with us. It's your man, Mr. Dean. We'll be right back. Yo, it's your man, Mr. Dean, a.k.a. Cross. You're listening to the Man Up Club Presents. So let's go back in, man. You got your barbershop. You know, you're traveling. You're mobilizing barbers, you're incentivizing young people, you're giving discounts. Where'd you learn your work ethic from?
I, like I'm gonna be my dad. My dad comes to my head right away. My dad comes to my head right away, and then it goes right to my family. Like my, I feel like my dad work ethic is what pushed me to want to just like go and just try things out. And then my mom's way of viewing things helped me look at things a little bit more vividly. You know what I'm saying? Because most of us, bro, like as like my dad, let's go do it. I'm gonna knock it out. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? But that as a man, like, kind of can be kind of hard later on in life because you got so many gifts. You know what I'm saying? You be like, hey man, start tripping over your shoe and stuff. So and it's hard. I know it's hard for my dad to say that too. He be saying like, y'all got so many gifts, that and it's so hard to catch it though, because you like, yo, I don't know what that really means all the way. I just, like, yeah, so. But I, as a role model though, as a as a leader, yeah, I say my dad was the one that like that.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up in regards to the gifts because I have a like a man up lesson that I always teach to the young men, which is that you got many talents. You got so many talents. You know, and I'm just saying like in general. You could be a great basketball player and a great football player. You could be a great speaker. You could be a barber. You feel me? You could be a great father. Like there's so you could be a great artist. Like there's so many gifts and talents. So well, let me put it this way: there's so many talents that a person can have. But the thing is, I think all of those because a lot of people think because they have a great talent that that's supposed to be their purpose, and a lot of times it's not.
Right.
So a lot of times, what I teach the Man Up Club guys is that, man, no, let's look at all of these talents that you have, because all of those talents are going to lead you to to whatever it is your true
Right.
gifting is. And then your true gifting can lead you right into your purpose. You feel me? So a lot of people they get it misconstrued and they get it misunderstood as far as what their purpose is, because they're just operating in something just operating in a great talent doesn't necessarily mean that you're walking in your purpose. Can you relate to that?
Yeah, like it is. I think for me, like it was, and maybe I don't think it was just for me because I heard a lot of people speak about this. Though it just took a while to hear everybody speak about it. But you know, even like when I'm cutting somebody's hair, I would hear, just like the struggle of inconsistency of like trying to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What is it that I need? What is it that I want? You know what I'm saying? And we get stuck away from what matter. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I know that feeling. I definitely know that feeling of trying to figure out what it is that's gonna get me over this next hurdle. What can I do to reevaluate? Like what situation may be happening. But yeah, I know those moments though.
I think you're a perfect example of a person who is uh, operating in their talent that's leading to their gift and purpose. Cause you could just cut hair, bro. That's your talent.
Yeah.
You can just cut hair, and take the thing from around their neck, slap the hair on the ground, and be
Man,
like,
just
"Yo, that's $30."
yeah, I mean, you run that up.
Have a good day.
Charging somebody because somebody called me and was like, "Hey man, I got $250 for you. Pull up. Haircut gonna take 15 minutes. Boom, pull up." And I do the haircut and I get done, but then I started realizing, why I feel a little like down. I just made $250 doing a haircut, and it's like I came from a certain area where I wasn't doing that at first. Like I was charging $5 or $0, right, just to make sure that either I was taking care of somebody or I get some learning skills in or whatever the case, right?
Yeah.
But then as like, I started like catching on, I'm like, okay, this is why a lot of our gifts and our talents, like the gift and curse thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, people are so talented and so gifted. Like I can be gifted with my hands, you know what I'm saying? But if I ain't utilizing it, it does go away, right? But like, or pass somewhere else, right?
Sure.
Like I know that if I can fail forward, right? Like I know that that'll allow the aspiring or more inspiration to be put into that bubble, like because it do be hard. Like people I do see people every day like have gifts and just really not know how gifted they are. Like I was saying earlier, like my barber shop, or when I created in my apartment, the way I created that was already crazy because I found the computer chair by the trash can downstairs in my apartment. I just got the apartment, and when I left that shop, it wasn't necessarily wasn't the best ending, but I had no money, and then I was already in a down spot because I lost my car, my cousin, got murdered. It was like a few different things going on at once, and I ended up like in that midst of getting to that apartment and finding that computer chair. I'm like, you know what? I ain't see a shop, but I seen something. I just seen a little bit of something. I'm like, I'm gonna hustle up a couple cuts. Christmas just passed. My mom and dad lost their house. It was a crazy moment, and I was like, either I'm gonna just do what I gotta do, or it's gonna be done. So when I got up in there, I was like, you know what? Boom, cut up, and I started learning like this what the gift is versus the curse. 'Cause I feel like this is a curse because I'm having to cut in my apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't no shop,
Yeah.
but that's not the type. The title thing's an illusion. The system got everybody in an illusion, kind of. Like it's like like a relationship. It's like not that. You got to think you are you, your well being. You gonna fail forward. Your gifts only gonna get discovered by experience. You know what I'm saying? It ain't you learn quickly by seeing who went over that bridge and didn't trip over the three missing pieces. If he's already crossed the bridge and he's telling you watch out for three pieces, I ain't saying you gotta listen, but if it makes sense, be wary. You know what I'm saying? I love those type of concepts. Be still in the moving crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. You you've overcome some hardships. You talked about how you grew up homeless to some degree, and then talked about your parents losing their home, and then you talked about losing your cousin. How do you overcome that, and how are you coping, and how do you deal with these hardships that you're dealing with?
Truthfully, I didn't know I was dealing with a lot until I stopped crumping.
Mm.
And that was like 2014. Like I didn't realize it like until I got a state and I got my one bedroom apartment. I stopped crumping. I I got into that hermit mode. I think every man or young man or whatever case like goes through a hermit mode. Sometimes it's different times, but I went into a hermit mode. It's a few different times to go through it, and I went through a hermit mode where it was like I didn't trust nobody and nothing like that or none of those type of things. So but I was building too though. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's a good idea, but you get into a mobilized state where you're like, what do they call it? Analysis paralysis. Like I was getting to that kind of phases a little
Yeah.
bit, but I was always creating something, but I just couldn't figure out how to put it together.
Yeah.
So I think it was one of those phases like I was going through a break. Like I need to break down, and then I met a girl. You know what I'm saying? Got her pregnant. So that was my child, and that was my story of like of coming in like, okay, this is manhood, bro. Like it's real, bro. You got your spot. You got your bills now. You got everything situated. That's when it started hitting me like, dang, I'm not getting a chance to really express myself at all though. Like I'm not dancing. Like I'm cutting hair, but I was kind of on the edge too though, because the dude that I'm sorry, my cousin when I got murdered, like when he got murdered, one of the clients I was cutting had found him. That he was like, "That was your brother?" I'm like, "Yeah." I called my brother though.
Wow.
I was like, "Dang." He's like, "Yeah, he was over there at like 4 o'clock." And another client knew. I'm like, I started getting a little iffy. Like my truck, it was we go through trauma like
Yeah.
learning. You know what I'm saying? So de-escalating that, knowing how to break that down like during that time. My brother passed, like my other cousin passing too. Like just things going by. I was like, okay, I know what it feels like to express, and I think that's what it is. I think if we can get people to know how to express, it would lighten up a lot of conversations. Like, because I was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, I know I'm cutting hair, I know I'm creating things. I don't, but who am I? I'm talking to my dad. Talk to my dad. It's cool. Talk to it's cool. But what am I doing am I in the right direction?
Sure.
I think we need more of that. Like, it's the right direction. It's okay. You're doing the right thing. Yeah. But yeah. my it was a cope. It really was a coping thing.
Coping mechanism.
Yeah, it was a coping thing to really like, because I was using my haircuts to feel good, but I didn't know the conversation was healing me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I look, oh, that's cold, that's dope haircut. Or you look fresh. Oh, that's perfect. But I'm like, because I used to lie a lot, like 2000, like when I was younger, I was lying my she's female. You know, you kind of just going. So I started learning like. Sincerity really brings so much joy, and I love cutting hair. I do love cutting hair. I had to say, do I love cutting hair? I do love cutting hair. I used to like it.
Yeah.
But I do love it. I like cutting crumping. Yeah, I love crumping. Like, what is it? Be sincere, living your well being. If you can't do that, then it's not for you really. Like you don't want to, you don't want to build a toxic relationship eating something that don't fit your stomach diet. I don't know.
Right. No, I feel that. Well, I want to commend you, man, on the business that you built, the community outreach. You know what I'm saying, that you're doing. It's all needed. Well, I don't think we have enough positive and inspirational content out there. You feel me? You know, I like when people take things the extra mile, the extra step, what have you. I mean, that's some of the things that we're doing, you know, within the Man Up Club, within the programs that we have, and we need to have more of it. It's a pleasure to have you, man. Where can the people reach you, and how can they learn about you?
Y'all can reach me either on social media platforms. My name is Devon Ambers. You can put it in, it's DAVONCE, and last name Ambers, AMBERS, Dashmore. You know, you can't find me on Ambers. And then, you know, if y'all do want to, again, y'all want to apply for haircut assistance, or, you know somebody in need, a child, you know, or somebody who's just doing good, whatever the case, go apply at haircutsforacause.com. Again, that's haircutsforacause.com. And, again, peace and love to everybody, and blessings.
And it's your man, Mr. Dean, a.k.a. Cross. You're listening to the Man Up Club Presents on Holy Culture Radio. Tap in with us every Thursday night. We on here, man, and we out.